Yo! Right is that?
The Israel Defense Forces said Hamas leader Yahya Sinwar was killed on Wednesday after a year-long pursuit. In recent weeks, IDF and Israeli Security Agency forces, under the command of the Southern Command, have been operating in the southern Gaza Strip, following IDF and ISAE intelligence that indicated the suspected locations of senior members of Hamas, the IDF said in a statement released Thursday. IDF soldiers of the 828th Brigade, Bezluk, operating in the area, identified and eliminated 3 terrorists. After completing the process of identifying the body, it can be confirmed that Yahya Sinwar was eliminated, it added. Israeli forces encountered Sinwar during a routine military operation. 2 Israeli sources familiar with the matter told CNN earlier. Yahya Sinwar's body was found above ground, wearing a combat vest and with an AK by his side. Several Palestinians in Gaza told CNN they do not believe the killing of Hamas leader Yahya Sinwar will put an end to the war. Abu Mohammed told CNN he wanted Israel to stop the war, but had his doubts that it would. "You must end the war since the man has been killed," he said. After a large-scale Iranian missile strike on Israel using dozens of ballistic missiles, several new videos of exo-atmospheric interceptions have been posted online. Here's a look at these explosions and their features. First, the most obvious thing that catches one's eye is the shape. The almost spherical shape suggests that the explosion occurred at an altitude where atmospheric pressure is quite low. In general, this can be any altitude above 50 kilometers, although this type of interception should occur near the Kármán line, 100 kilometers, the traditional boundary of space where aerodynamic effects are practically absent. It's almost impossible to estimate the altitude with the naked eye, as too few interceptions such as these have occurred in history. But the clear sphere of enormous size suggests that it is at least 50 kilometers. Second, the color. It could have been influenced by the fuel of the target and the interceptor, as well as by the very nature of the explosion outside the atmosphere. Most likely it was the fuel that was rapidly heated to incredible temperatures that produced this blue-pink color, reminiscent of plasma. An explosion in the denser layers of the atmosphere would have looked much like the interceptions we are seeing in Ukraine. Exo-atmospheric interception of a ballistic target is currently the most difficult task possible for missile defense. At breakneck speeds, the slightest maneuver of an enemy missile causes a significant deviation from the trajectory. It may not be enough to miss the final target on Earth, but it is enough to prevent the interceptor from hitting the missile and to pass by it. That is why current developments rely on future hypersonic missiles that actively maneuver. The high speed reduces response time, and maneuvers in the mid-phase of flight make it difficult to calculate the trajectory for interception. The trajectory of such a weapon is not purely ballistic. Almost all modern anti-missile systems capable of intercepting complex ballistic targets use the hit-to-kill approach, kinetic damage or direct collision with the target. Unlike the traditional hit by debris from a close interceptor breakup, this approach guarantees critical damage to thick-walled ballistic missiles and destabilizes their flight path. It has been implemented, for example, in the U.S. SM-3, THAAD, and GMD missile defense systems. The Patriot systems in service with the Ukrainian Air Force use MIM-104 missiles in different versions, with a fragmentation method for aerodynamic, GMT missile, and with a kinetic method for aeroballistic targets, PAC-3 MSE missile. According to open-source information, the Russian S-400 and S-500 use the fragmentation method for both aerodynamic and aeroballistic targets. The Israeli Arrow 2 missile combines both approaches. It first tries to hit the target kinetically, but if it misses slightly, it detonates near the target to hit it with fragmentation. The next version, Arrow 3, uses only a hit-to-kill approach. Exo-atmospheric interception is designed to destroy medium-range and longer-range ballistic missiles, which can be intercepted in the mid-phase of flight near the Kármán line. Intercontinental missiles should ideally be intercepted outside the atmosphere, at an altitude of more than 700 kilometers. This is exactly what systems like the U.S. RIM 161 Standard Missile 3 are designed to do. Short-range ballistic missiles are intercepted in the final, or initial, phase of flight. The short approach time and short middle phase make it impossible to react in time. In addition, the ballistic trajectory of such weapons may not go beyond the Kármán line. Another challenge of such interception is the lack of atmosphere. This does not allow aerodynamics to be used to control the interceptor. Stabilization tools and separate correction engines are needed. Error accumulation factors and the complexity of communication with the ground station are also important, so the interceptor must have serious onboard targeting systems. In essence, this task can be compared to hitting a grain of sand in the eye of a needle at high speed. If successful, exo-atmospheric interception of ballistic targets is the safest way to repel such attacks. But at the same time, it is an incredibly difficult task for both target detection systems and missiles that are supposed to hit them directly. The Israeli military has discovered modern Russian weapons at Hezbollah bases in Lebanon. Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu shared this with the French newspaper Le Figaro. The Prime Minister emphasized that, according to the UN Security Council resolution of 2006, only the Lebanese armed forces are allowed to have weapons in the territory south of the Litani River. However, in this region, Hezbollah has created hundreds of tunnels and caches, where we found a large number of modern Russian weapons, Netanyahu stated. Netanyahu did not specify what kind of Russian weapons were discovered at Hezbollah's bases in Lebanon. He also added that a civil war in Lebanon would be a disaster, noting that Israel does not seek to interfere in Lebanon's internal affairs, but only wants to ensure the safety of its citizens living near the border with Lebanon. On October 16th, the Israeli military command released photos of weapons depots located in a civilian residential building in southern Lebanon. In early October, the Israeli military showed captured Soviet-Russian weapons. The captured samples included 9 M131FM thermobaric and 9 M131M missiles of the Metis M anti-tank missile system. In addition, the 9 K-32M Strela, two-man portable air defense missile system, and RPG-29 Vampire and RPG-27 Tavolga rocket-propelled grenade launchers were shown. Russian-made weapons could have entered Hezbollah's arsenals through third countries, most likely from Syria. Recently, it was reported that the Hezbollah group uses Soviet-made Tu-143 race reconnaissance drones as a weapon.
Thanks for watching, and don't forget to subscribe. Also, if you want to support Warthog Defense, please become our member and get early access to new videos, exclusive members-only videos, and become administrator in comment section. The membership link is in the description.
Rescues every day. We had a guy last week at 6 rescues in 6 days. You know, he's doing the job every day.